Today we're in Vienna, the capital of Austria. This city has been the capital for over 1,000 years. So that alone shows you how much history this city has. But as well as having a lot of history and being very beautiful, it has a lot of great food.
Vienna is the cultural heart of Austria, and the food culture is very distinct. It's very meat heavy, very hearty, and I bet there'll be a ton of dishes in this video that you will recognize. But we are out to find the best Viennese cuisine to show you, so let's get into it. In this video, we're delving into Vienna's food culture to share with you the best versions of Vienna's famous dishes. We take you to the oldest sausage stand in Vienna for the ultimate sausage feast, and into one of Vienna's iconic coffee houses for the city's best Applestrudel. We eat one of Vienna's favourite street foods and share with you a popular local restaurant that does a delicious traditional Wiener Schnitzel. You don't want to miss this video. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. In this video, we're going to be making our way all over Vienna to find the best versions of the absolute classic dishes here in Vienna. So there are some absolute standout dishes that we all know and love. So we want to make our way all over the city to find the best versions of those dishes. So we're going to be eating street food, we're going to be in coffee houses, restaurants, all sorts of places. The first place we're going though is for street food, and it's classic sausages. So classic here in Austria.
The best place to grab a sausage in Vienna is from a Würstelstand, or a sausage stand or kiosk. Now these are dotted all around the city, but we've come out to the suburbs of Vienna to find a particular sausage stand, and it is this teal sausage stand behind me. It's the original sausage stand of Vienna. It's been around since 1928. We've heard they do amazing sausages, and we wanted to come out to try the original stand in the city, so let's go and eat. The stand is awesome. So this is very typical. You just pop up, place your order, and you normally just sort of lean on the side and, oh, the Big Mama platter. So we have honed in on one particular menu item, and it's called the Big Mama platter, and it is sort of like the ultimate sausage platter that you can order. I can see him popping a ton of different condiments on there. 6 condiments. He's popping some pickles onto the platter too, and it comes on a great tray. Wow, dankeschön. It's ginormous. Check out this gigantic feast we've got. It literally comes on a silver tray. I've got this gigantic sausage loaded up with all sorts of things. So let's go and head over to this leaner and perch right here to get into it. I am loving this sausage platter. So it literally comes on a silver platter, and the piece de resistance is this humongous sausage, which is called a kasekrainer, and it is stuffed full of cheese. So it is a lightly smoked pork sausage. You can see in there all of the cheese, because it's been sliced up, is oozing out of it. Oh my goodness. And then to go with the sausage, we've got 3 types of bread. There's some pickles, there's some pickled chilies, some gherkins, and then this multitude of sauces. So we've got mayonnaise, I think that's a chili sauce, some sort of curry ketchup, mustard, ketchup, tomato ketchup, and then another mustard. So this is really gonna get us going. This is the first taste of kasekrainer I've ever had. So this is a smoked pork sausage, and then it's got the cheese all studded through it. I'm just gonna go classic, a blob of tomato sauce. Oh, holy moly, that is good. So what he does is he cooks it on the grill. So it means that the skin of the sausage gets really crispy, and the cheese really melts. It just oozed into my mouth as I bit into it. A very sort of creamy flavour and texture. The sausage itself has a lot of flavour, so it's lightly smoked, very meaty and hearty. All right, I'm gonna go for this. Oh, look at that. Look at that cheese oozing out of it. All right, let's go for this cheesy slice, and then I'm gonna go for the classic trifecta: mustard, tomato ketchup, and then mayonnaise. The perfect combo. That cheese is amazing. It's very gooey. And I just love how that kasekrainer skin has crisped out. So it's crispy on the outside, meaty and gooey on the inside. That's brilliant.
How impressive is this tray of food? I mean, it's unreal. Oh, look at that one. Massive amount of cheese off the bottom. I'll go with this curry ketchup here, or what looks like a curry ketchup coated in that. Oh wow, this is so good. Oh, that crispiness, like Sheena said, and that curry ketchup's amazing. It's got a ton of onions in it, so it's really sweet. And how just good is this environment? Like, you've got this ridiculously big tray of sausage and this really cool stand. So these are very common, and often in areas like this, a super busy intersection. We've got the train tracks right here. They're often by train stations and public transport, where, you know, little hubs of people. Really cool little stands. So they're just little boxes on the side of the road, and they specialize in hot dogs and it's anything sausage based, but this is the ultimate sausage platter. Another nice middle piece of sausage. We'll get this one into the mustard, and I'm loving all of these pickles and things that come with it. So let's get a little gherkin. Oh, so good. So the sausage is obviously quite fatty, and oily with the cheese. So that gherkin works perfectly with it. A little bit of chili. Bit spicy, but very sweet, this pickled chili. So we've got two varieties of whole pickled chilies. We've got that beautiful fatty sausage. So having all of these pickled options with that is perfect. And then you've got an absolute ton of bread. So you've got this huge roll, and then these other two bits of bread as well. So there is a lot going on this tray.
I am loving this breakfast. So what a way to start the day and to start this video. So standing in the middle of this busy intersection, tucking into this iconic Viennese food. And I love the history behind these Würstelstands, these sausage stands. They actually became a permanent fixture of Vienna after the First World War, because they were set up as a means to provide employment for disabled war veterans. And they've become a permanent fixture of the city ever since. This is amazing. This is such a great start to the video.
We've made our way into the center of Vienna. So this is the area that you think of when you think of Vienna. Just absolutely stunning, so beautiful around here. But we've come here for something very special, and something that is what I think of when I think of Vienna. There's a few dishes, but one is Applestrudel. When I think of Austria, actually, I think of Applestrudel. So we're coming to a place that is meant to do the best Applestrudel in the city, and it is at a coffee house, which is just such a neat part of the culture here in Vienna.
It's a bitterly cold day here today in Vienna, so this coffee house stop is perfect. It's very atmospheric in here, so velvet banquettes and dark wooden walls, tiles on the floor. It's really cozy and moody. And Thomas and I have made a bit of a habit of popping into a coffee house for a coffee and a slice of cake every afternoon that we've been in Vienna. They're a real integral part of the food culture here in Vienna. Dankeschön. We ordered our hot drinks, and I love how here in Vienna, in the coffee houses, they always come on a silver tray. So I've got my coffee, which is a special Viennese coffee. So the thing to order when you're here, it's called a melange. and then you've got your 2 glasses of water, always on the silver tray. It gives it a sense of ceremony, I suppose. So this is what I got. This is a melange. It's a shot of espresso, and then half hot milk, half foamed milk. Oh, wonderful! Dankeschön. Wow, so we have come to this particular coffee house because we've heard that they do the best Apfelstrudel, so Applestrudel in the city. And Applestrudel is one of those iconic Austrian desserts or pastries. And so I'm very eager to try this particular one. I read that they use a generations old family recipe. And this particular coffee house has been around since 1922. So for an age, how gorgeous does this Applestrudel look? So it's got a little bunch of red currants on the top. Essentially it is pastry that's stuffed full of apples, and it is sprinkled with icing sugar, and then we got it served with whipped cream. Now, I thought I smelled the apples. So the apples have been cooked with cinnamon. Oh, and it just smells like wintertime. It really does. A beautiful, strong cinnamon scent coming from that. And the pastry itself looks really stunning. So it's quite crispy at the top, but then sort of where it's touching the apples, it's very soft. Okay, let's just get into this. We can get a huge bit of cream. Pop that on the side there. Oh, wow. Oh, I don't want to lose my red currants. Okay, so I've got pastry, a ton of the apples in this mouthful. Holy moly. It is beautiful. Wow. We've been eating a lot of strudel, apple strudel, whilst we've been in Vienna. This is sensational. This goes straight to the top of the charts. The apples are so juicy, a little bit sweet, but still a little bit sour, and you can really taste that cinnamon. The pastry is stunning. It's a little bit flaky and soft, but it's soft as well. And that cream, oh man. Absolutely stunning. And perfect with the coffee, because the coffee is very strong and quite bitter. I love the concept of the coffee house too. So back in the late 19th century and early 20th century, coffee houses became really popular because they were frequented by artists and writers and the intelligentsia of the time. People would just come in, chat, drink coffee, and just while away their days in these coffee houses. And I love that the tradition still continues, because it's just a really neat dining institution.
Walking around Vienna, you get such a sense of the history and the culture. It is such a beautiful looking city, and there's so many famous people that have history here as well. So you come across things all the time, like this statue, which is of old mate Mozart. So that's a memorial to Mozart. Beethoven has history here. Niki Lauda, just incredibly famous names. But the food is so famous as well. I mean, the things we've eaten already are so well known, but the versions we've had are just unbelievably good. But the next thing we're going to is maybe not quite so well known, but is a really interesting dish. So it's just up the road here somewhere.
The next food we're going to share with you is a really popular snack here in Vienna, in Austria. It's called a Liber casamel, which is essentially a thick slice of meatloaf stuffed into a bread roll. And you can find these all over Vienna at the sausage stands, like the one that we went to this morning. But we've heard that this little spot here does a really good version. They specialize in Liber cas. So let's go and... We've just walked into this shop, and the smell of the Liber cas is amazing. So this is all of the meatloaves in this warmer steaming away. They're gigantic. Look at this one. So you get a huge slice of the Liber cas, and then they stuff it into the bread roll. Well, let's just go ahead and choose a flavour.
I flippin' love meatloaf. I think it's such a great dish. So walking into that shop and seeing them all stacked in the window like that, I thought, oh yes, this is my sort of place. So now I've got the roll in my hand. It's nice and warm. So we're out in the cold air with this hot little roll. But let's rip right into it. Now what is very interesting about this is the name. It's quite an odd name. So the leberkäse, which is the meatloaf, that directly translates to liver cheese. Now the really odd thing about this dish is there's no cheese in it, and there's very rarely liver. There won't be liver in this one. So it's a very odd name. I'm not actually sure why that name came to be, but that is the name of the meatloaf. We got the classic one, so the classic spice. So you can see the meatloaf. So it's going to be made up of ground pork, ground beef, maybe some ground bacon in there as well. So a very simple meatloaf. And we asked her, what's the most traditional topping? And she said mustard, but not spicy mustard. So this is just a plain mustard. So you've just got this meatloaf stuffed between a bread roll. And I'm definitely going for this side because look at that big chunk. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, that's good. The meatloaf is very heavily salted, so the seasoning's great, and you combine that with the mustard just to give it that little tang. Goes really well together. Mmm. Mmm. It's very finely ground, so there's no grittiness, no chunkiness in the meat. It's incredibly fine, so it's nice and soft. It's not piping hot, so it's just got a nice warmth to it. This is a great street snack, so simple. Mmm. Oh, seasoning is great. Oh, and the roll's nice too. Got a good little bit of chew, but a nice bit of crunch on the outside. Oh, this is just a street snack of kings because it is so simple. And this is what you want when you're grabbing a street snack to sort of eat on the run, basically. This just hits the nail on the head. It's so good.
Now, it wouldn't be a Vienna food video if we didn't share with you the city's most famous dish, and that is a Wiener Schnitzel. So a breaded veal cutlet, which is pounded super thin. Now, it was sort of hard to find a traditional Wiener Schnitzel, so one made out of veal, because there are tons of Wiener Schnitzels out there, but they're made out of, say, pork or turkey. There are a few restaurants in the heart of the city which serve it, but they are really touristy, and we're not about that. We wanted to eat at a locals restaurant, so we've come back out to the suburbs again to a small locals restaurant which we've heard does a really traditional and delicious Wiener Schnitzel. We've just gotten here via tram. It's really easy to get around Vienna. The tram system and the train system is very extensive. So we've come out to the suburbs. This is the place right here. Let's head in. We got one of the last tables that wasn't reserved. This place is really neat. It's very cute and cozy. There's art all over the walls. It's a packed out restaurant. And we've popped in our order for a Wiener Schnitzel. My Wiener Schnitzel has arrived and it looks beautiful and golden. I'm so excited to get into this bad boy. So look at this. It's very thinly pounded veal, and it's got this beautiful golden crumb over it, and I love that the crumb's not stuck to the meat. It's sort of puffy and quite aerated. So it comes with a wedge of lemon and also some cranberry sauce, and I ordered it with Viennese potato salad because this stuff is absolutely addictive. It doesn't look like much, but it is incredible with the Wiener Schnitzel. Let's get this lemon over it while this thing is hot. So, ooh, super juicy lemon. So just saturate that veal cutlet with the lemon juice, and let's just get a big bite while this thing is hot. Wow, look at that. So the crumb virtually separated from the meat, and that veal is pounded so thin. Whoa. It's delicious. It's simple perfection. The crumb is very light and fluffy, and the veal is so thin. It is super thin. Let me see if I can show you down here actually. Look, it's just a very thin, tender piece of veal in there. Okay, I'm gonna go again. And what I'm gonna do is just grab a bite of this potato salad. So the potato salad is just thinly sliced boiled potatoes. There's a bit of mustard in there, some white wine vinegar, some fresh red onion. Okay. Wow, that is the perfect partnership. Honestly, I can't tell you how good this potato salad is. It looks so simple, but the tanginess from the white wine vinegar and the freshness from the from the fresh red onion, just cuts through the richness of the Wiener Schnitzel. It's absolutely beautiful. What I love about the Wiener Schnitzel is the simplicity of it. So a really thin piece of meat, and the veal is actually full of flavour. It's quite a subtle flavour, but full of flavour. But that simple crumb over the top, and then paired with that simple potato salad, so boiled potatoes, bit of mustard, some white wine vinegar, fresh red onion, so it's a little bit tangy, cuts through the richness of the meat and the crumb, the deep fried nature of it. It's just simple, but it's so perfect. It's a really satisfying dish to eat, and I love eating it in this sort of environment, a real neighborhoodly sort of feeling restaurant. It's very casual. I can see lots of locals tucking into the same dish that I'm eating. So I'm not eating something which is, you know, just designed for tourists. It's what the locals are eating, and it is phenomenal. This is a really great version of the classic Wiener Schnitzel, and it's been such a great day of filming and eating in Vienna. So many really traditional and delicious Viennese dishes.